Hello, let's take a look at some of the simulation options for the alarms and collisions that we see in our Alerts tab down here in NC Simul. If I go to my Simulation tab, I can either just open my Settings menu and we see alarms and collisions and tolerances in here, or if I were to select them individually, it opens up the same Settings menu but in that specific tab. So if we go to alarms, we'll see we can turn on different tool alarms, so rapid machining and material. We probably want that to be on, of course. Tool cutting part, tangent to the part, overrun of maximum feed rate, something we'd likely want to have on. If we start machining with a stop spindle, and tool cutting, and so on. So these are different options that gives us alarms down here, either before we've even run a simulation, depending if it's something we can detect in the code, or once we've gotten to that point in the simulation, these types of alarms will show up at the bottom. Once you set up these alarms for your template for the job and within the project, these will be saved, and when the students import the job afterwards, they will have these types of alarms. What you can also do is have two different templates, so where they are using one with all of these alarms unchecked, where maybe they don't see the different types of alerts and crashes that they're going to get, and if you don't want them to correct their own work, so then they send it to you and you see the unfinished product, and your template does have all these alarms activated, and you can see right away certain errors that they did not see, your students did not see when they initially wrote the program. Same thing with collisions. If the machine crashes with itself, the tool or the goes into the table of some sort like that, the machine with the rough stock. And when we're talking about the parts, we're talking about the 3D comparison part. So I'd say in pretty much every case you don't want to have that checked, since your 3D comparison part isn't actually there in real life. It's just behind the scenes. So we don't need to have anything crashing with our part in most cases. Otherwise, machine clamps and tools and holders with the rough stock and tool with the clamps, of course, these would want to be detected when we see all these types of crashes happening during our simulation. We can even specify certain clearances between the rough and part and clamped and the machine clearances. And that's it for the video talking about the alarms and collisions for the simulation properties in NC Simul. Thank you.